What up, you guys? What up? It's Wolf Sage. Welcome to Deydrm, where they dream, they drip, and when they drip, they create. It's all a process, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Black Agenda. Welcome back to the podcast, because this is going to be remembered forever. But yeah, we're getting back into it. It's Wolf Sage. Yeah, we're talking about understanding. You know, can you feel me? Can you understand me, y'all? I want y'all to get me and listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I know this is going to seem like what the hell are you talking about? What type of topic? Like, of course we all understand, but no, a lot of y'all don't. A lot of us don't. And that's just the fact of it. We have a hard time understanding, and that's why we're always into, you know, just absorbing more knowledge and just understanding more stuff, because that's just how life goes. There's a lot of stuff that I don't understand. Even though I'm 20, about to be 27, it's hard. It's hard. There's so many things that I still don't know in this world. When I think about understanding, I mean in a sense of community-wise, we need to have an understanding, because yes, I can be able to understand you one-on-one. Like, I don't even have to agree with you. I don't have to, you know, want to convince you to get my other side or switch to my side. I just want to have an understanding of you and your viewpoint. And unless you're trying to hurt someone, I'm not trying to, you know, go against you. And us as a community, we have a hard time with that, whether it's through our different sexualities, our different orientations, our different, you know, belief systems. There's a lot of people where it's just like, hey, if you don't do this, do that, then I don't want to stand with you. Us in the Black community, we're going through a lot of Black Lives Matter situations where, you know, a lot of people are against Black Lives Matter. A lot of people are for Black Lives Matter. Us as a community, as a Black community, there are a lot of us that are against it, but only because they don't see their agenda going the same route as theirs. They don't see that they're going for everyone. They don't think the Black Lives Matter movement, those people that run that movement, is for all of us, which I believe they are. I believe, yes, there is, you know, just because a lot of them are within the LGBTQ community. A lot of them do have their own little agendas on the side, but we need to look at it. It needs to be looked at differently. For them, they need to realize that, yes, you want the agenda of, you know, not just like straight Black people should be good, but Black people on all different levels, people of color on all different levels and different styles of lifestyle should be treated well. But within our community, we have it where it's hard for us to want to choose our leaders, because there's some people that want the Martin Luther Kings of the world, where it's to turn the cheeks, but don't really want to talk about any of the stuff that we need to talk about as a Black community, or even like, you know, talk about, you know, when it comes to roles, is how women are done. You know, anyone that knows about Martin Luther King knows that he was, you know, sexist, a little bit sexist, and he was, you know, he cheated. But even though his goals were to free all of us, he wasn't to a lot of our standards a solid Black man. He wasn't a solid man, I should say that. Or even Malcolm X. Malcolm X had his problems. He didn't start off as the saint he was, and even though he was coming at it with a whole different, you know, aggressive attitude, he still was able to show that, hey, I still care about you guys. I don't want there to be any problems. I don't want there to be a fight against races or fight against religious groups. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. The problem with our community is that we have a hard time choosing our leaders. Our leaders, whether we want them to be pure saints or we want them to be real people and have mistakes, it's all everywhere. You know, everyone has their own leader. Everyone wants to be a leader. Everyone doesn't want to understand the other side. They think the other side is either crazy, stupid, or keep that side over there. And that's hard for us to come together. And that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to be separated. They want us to not be together. They want us to see the differences in each other, because that's how we've been bred and grown to see. Light skin versus dark skin. Curly hair versus straight hair. You know, it's like race versus race, religion, Christian versus Muslim. We've all, especially in the Black community, have been taught to, you know, separate, divide, not understand. And I'm glad that we're changing and all that stuff, but it needs to go on so many different levels, because we need to learn to work together as a community. And as a community, we need to understand that, hey, It may not be, the problem may not lie in like, oh, neighborhood squabbles, or, you know, how you should religiously live in your life. It might be, hey, how are we going to support ourselves as a community? How are we going to build wealth to where our voices are still going to be heard? That our voices are going to be there in the future to say, hey, this is what we need as a people. This is what we want to do. This is what needs to happen. And this is our demands. There needs to be an understanding between all of us. There needs to be a middle ground where we can be able to come together and say, hey, I understand your side, I understand your side. Let's come together and figure out a way where we can get money and where we can live. We don't have to live around each other. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to, you know, pose for pictures and do all this and that. We just all want to be able to live. Isn't that all? Isn't that it? And don't get me twisted, because for those of y'all who just want chaos and just want us to, you know, kill each other and die, like, it's going to come to you. Just to let you know, you can, you know, sadness brings sadness around them. Unhappy people make more unhappy people. It's like a fly. It's like a fly to one of those, whatever the fucks. But it's crazy. It's like a fly to shit. I'm not gonna say that. It's crazy because us as a community, we've shown on an economic scale. When they do the numbers, they're like, us as black people, we spend like trillions of dollars, billions, trillions of dollars a year just on entertainment, on resources to live, on this, that, drugs. We probably spend the money on drugs we probably spend is probably even higher than everything else in entertainment and that stuff. You see how alcohol, when it comes to Hennessy and Moet and all those, you know, those different brands, they live off of us. They live off of us as a community. They want us to be able to, you know, the cognacs and all that stuff. They want us to be able to, you know, push the narrative and push these brands so we can be able to make them more money when it's not coming straight to us. We're pushing all these brands that we have no voice in to have an understanding for us. We want them to understand our plight. We want them to understand our feelings. We want them to understand this, and that. We want them to get it. It's not, it doesn't work like that. You don't, a lot of people just don't get it. They don't want to understand. And for those type of people, why would you want to even like discuss or even have or waste your time with them? Make them want to understand you. Make them want to feel you. And I'm not saying through violence. I'm talking through us having an advantage. And us having an advantage is having that community sense of wanting to understand each other, wanting to be there and support each other. If we know that, hey, there's kids in the city that are getting shot up, and they're getting killed, and they're getting prosecuted unfairly, then 100 million of us should be able to go into that damn city and raise havoc. Raise fucking havoc. There's no excuse. Billions of us should be able to raise havoc. Just off a click of a button, or off of walking down the street, or whatever. Our money really should be the power. If I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, our money should be the power. Because as soon as we say, hey, we're going to put money into here, here, and here to be able to get your ass out of here, who you think they're going to listen to? They gonna switch their tone real quick. Real quick. Real quick. Even the people that we use when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to, you know, Apple and Google and all that stuff, you know, they live off of us. We're the ones who make these things succeed. We're the ones who keep the algorithm in YouTube flowing and everything. We're the ones who keep the algorithm with Google so they can know everything that we search and what we think and what people are feeling in this type, in this area, in this place and region. We keep these things going. We keep Apple that they can make, they're going to be making 100 different iPhones. By the time I'm old, it's going to be iPhone 101 Dalmatians. Whatever. That's how many they're going to have to do, that they're going to have to do a freaking collab with the Dalmatians. Just for the 101 freaking phone that we are pushing. Not even just as a black community, but us as a whole world. So think about it. Us as a black community, us with hip hop, we have already shown that we can change stuff, that we can push stuff on a cultural, pop, you know, fashion level. Freaking Kanye's the only reason that people are talking about Gap, you guys. because they have an understanding that Kanye has a voice in this culture that's going to push not only the black community, and maybe not the whole black community, but a portion of the black community, and a whole other, so many other different groups and demographic. He's going to push through all of those and have that light be put on Gap in his brand. And so with understanding, and even on the street level, guys, I don't even want to keep it just on, you know, the higher levels. On the street levels, we need to have as a community base, we have to have an understanding of, hey, we are, a lot of us are growing into shitty situations. A lot of us are not growing into the best situations. We need to have things in place where when we're out here on these streets and the kids are going through stuff and they're having to choose between, hey, sticking to school or sticking to the streets, we need to have a better choice in the matter. It shouldn't be that easy to just have to hop in the streets, especially when all these different things are in the world. Kids should be able to, kids shouldn't have that choice. I'm just going to say that. Kids should never have to have that choice of whether to pack a gun or to pack their books up. After high school, you can do whatever the hell you want. But as a kid, that's my time to be able to learn, to grow, to be able to not have to worry about this and that. I don't want to have to cross by a gang and have to, just because I go to school, just because I might have a better life or this and that they're going to feel resentment for me, or one of them's going to hate on me, or one of them's going to try something to me just to prove themselves or make themselves happier. I don't want that for that guy. I don't want him to have to prove himself like that, make a fool of himself, have me hate him, and have just more conflict just encrypt on his life. I don't want that. I want him to have the same choices as me. I want her to have the same choices as me. I want they to have the same opportunities as me. Because that's all we have in this world is each other. And if we can't understand each other, then a lot of us are going to get taken out. And then the rest of y'all that's left is going to wonder, what happened? How did we let this happen? Because we didn't want to understand each other and come to a common ground, a common medium, a balance in life. That's all this stuff is. And us as a community, I want us to have that balance. Yes, have your conservative views, but a lot of those conservative views are old and antiquated and are very whitewashed. So like, we need to be able to grow, exchange, you know, get in our, of course you have your comfortable, your space, your comfortable space and everything, but you're not the only person in this world. And sadly enough, it takes a lot of us to be able to change this world to where it is comfortable for all of us to live in here and to be able to survive and be able to do what it is we need to do to, you know, just live, you know? But if you're someone who wants to put more into you and your community, and you want to see something change or something grow, just to start it out and just to see where it goes, you know, click down that link. Go to www.deydrm.com. Click on that Black Agenda link and you're gonna see everything that I have to offer. I'm just giving us an idea, something to think about, you guys. On all different levels, mind, body, and spirit. We're working on the body, working on understanding each other, the other person across from us. It's all it is. You know, it's Wolf Sage. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment, please talk. Please let me know what you guys think about this. Let's have a real deep conversation, you guys, you know. Welcome to Deydrm. It's Deydrm. We're Deydrm, they drip. And when they drip, they create. It's all a process. Peace. What up, you guys? It's Wolf Sage. Welcome to Deydrm. We're Deydrm, they drip. When they drip, they create. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you're interested in the Black Agenda and seeing this document in full to its every detail, not every detail, but I will be explaining everything within these videos and kind of breaking it down so it can be more of an interactive experience. But if you do want to read it, link in description. Go to www.deydrm.com. That's www.deydrm.com. Deydrm.com. Click, download the free PDF, be a part of the conversation, help me build this PDF, help me build this document, and we will grow a better community, okay, you guys? So please like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, click that bell, and let's get back to the video.